Welcome to Shrimpscast number 6. Saturday the 3rd of October saw Shrewsbury Town, the visitors, at Christie Park. Both sides with an impressive unbeaten run, and both sides looking for 3 points. After the thrilling 0-0 against Bradford at Christie Park on the previous Tuesday, expectations were high and we were looking to record a second win this season. Well, with an air of inevitability, the match ended in a 1-1 draw. Steve Middlesbrough, a little bit later on, will give his views on the match. But before that, I caught up with Derek Quinn, or Quinny as he's known, and asked him about the roles he plays at Christie Park. Okay, so today we're with Derek Quinn. Derek's got quite a few different hats he wears down here at the club, and we're here to ask him about them. So thanks for being with us today, Derek.
No problems at all.
Great stuff. So tell us about your main duties down here at Christie Park. You always seem to be down here on match day. You're well known around the ground. Tell us what you do.
Well, main job really is club press officer and deal with all the media during the week, trying to sort tickets out for them when they come here to the games. And all the inquiries in the week that I get as well, Sky Sports, newspapers, just about players. Especially a few weeks ago when Sol Campbell was here, then it was just mad busy for that week. Trying to arrange interviews when BBC ask or things like that. BBC Radio Lancashire, which I do on the Saturday, but Tim Padfield now covers during the week. Now I don't work in Morecambe anymore, so there's plenty to do, as well as the club website, which I maintain on a daily basis. So it's a labour of love, but it's getting more and more time consuming as the club progresses further and further up the tables.
I'm sure it is, because the club website's obviously changed dramatically in the last couple of years since we moved up to League 2, and more so had a big facelift at the beginning of last season. What's the main differences that you think?
Well, the main difference is the content. There's so much more content on there, and it's so more structured now that you have to follow the league guidelines, whereas before you could just make your own up. We had a chap, Matt Sees, who did it for a number of years for us, did an absolutely fantastic job for the club, and then we had to move into this player system where the club generates revenue from all the league contracts that we sign. So we've moved into that, but as I say, it does require a lot of work and a lot of photographic work as well, which I'm very grateful to people like Brian Sheldon and Mike Williamson and Ian Lyons for maintaining the photo gallery. Now, we would like to do more on the club website and join a lot of other clubs, but it's probably a good time to say this. We have to sort of remember that a lot of other clubs, including Shrewsbury today, they have a staff of 3 or 4 in their media department, and we don't have any. We just rely on people like myself and Sean O'Connor, who does the commentating, often with Lance and other Morecambe fans, which is another asset that we really do have, all based on volunteers. And I think we just have to remember that sometimes, and what a fantastic job people like Sean do.
Absolutely, wholeheartedly agree with that, Derek. If there was anybody out there that wanted to get involved at all, how would they go about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for people to help, but what I would like to say, Mark, is that we've had help before, then people just go away. Now, if we want people to help, we want them to help on a consistent basis, so we can sort of rely on them to be there week on week, week in, week out, like Sean and Lance and other fans who can dip in and out, but we know they're going to dip in and out. So if people do want to help, we'd love to hear from them, but we do, may as well stress at the beginning that we'd like it to be a big help for quite a long time, over a sustained period of time. So they can send me an email, which is Derek, D-E-R-E-K, Quinn, Q-U-I-N-N, at dsl.pipex.com, or they can ring the club on 411 and they'll just leave a name and number for me.
Absolutely fantastic. Derek, thanks, and that's T-H-A-N-K-S.
I'll add a Y-O-U onto that as well.
So on a match day, you're obviously very busy before, during and after the match. It takes up a big part of your time, and you do the Radio Lancashire. How did you get into that?
It was an absolute fluke, to be honest, because and I'll tell you what it was the first day in the conference against Telford, and a guy called Len Chenery didn't turn up for Radio Lancashire. He was on holiday, coming back from France, and he just didn't turn up, and he never told anyone, and they were desperate for someone to do the game, and they asked me, and I've got to admit, Mark, I was an absolute shambles. I was a nervous wreck, and I've got to admit again, I was probably a nervous wreck for about the first 3 or 4 years. Every time that they came to me, the hairs in the back of my neck would stand up, and I'd come out in a cold sweat. And I think you may have commented about 5 years down the line that I used to shake and shiver and do a rock and roll every time I was on the radio, moving my head. And I think I'm a bit more solid now. Still, every now and again, get a little bit nervous, but it's a lot more natural to me now, but I suppose it should be after 12 years, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and if there's anything I can ever do to shake your confidence again, then let me know. Well, we think you did a fantastic job on Radio Lancashire. You're well respected among the fans and among your peers. What's been the highlights over the last 12 years then on Radio Lancashire?
There's been loads. I mean, obviously, the first day of the conference was a highlight in the fact that it was. I did it, and during all those years, I always remember the game against Chesterfield, and Gary Thompson scored, and it seemed to have people still rib me now for when he did score, and my voice went about 7 octaves higher than it is now, which is, I don't find it hard to believe, but I went absolutely mental, I think, if I could say that, in this PC world. But then about 20 minutes after the game, I was asked to go on Football Focus and do the end of the match report for Ray Stubbs. And I sort of said, well, when do you want me? And they said, oh, in about 30 seconds. So I didn't have time to be nervous, but I was there and I was on Football Focus, so I've got some claim to fame. And then, of course, further down the years, there was Wembley, which was an absolutely unbelievable experience. To be on the pitch at Wembley during those celebrations and to watch the game from the bench all the way through doing the pitchside commentary was just something. You know, there's some things in life you can't buy, isn't there? And that's one of those things that money couldn't buy that weekend for me. I did make the mistake of saying it was the best moment of my life, which when I got in to see my wife, the stony face she had when I got in out the door was something I had to explain for a few weeks and buy some flowers. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I say one that you just cannot buy.
Absolutely, and some things you say in public and some things you say in private. Yeah, a good lesson well learned there. Absolutely fantastic. Derek, a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Derek Quinn there, talking about how the Wembley experience ranks above his wedding day and the birth of his children. As we mentioned at the beginning of the Shrimpscast, the match ended 1-1, honours even, another draw for the Shrimps. Steve Middlesbrough gave me his summary of the match. Steve, tell us your thoughts of the match today.
Yeah, well, I think after the first 10-15 minutes when it looked like we were in for a bit of a hiding, I think we recovered our composure very well, and I think, to be quite honest, we lost most of the remainder of the match after the first 20 minutes. Shrewsbury had chances. Great goal they got from Labardi from 25 yards, an excellent strike. I think Stuart Drummond's equaliser was well deserved, took us into a 1-1 at half time. Second half, I think we in very difficult conditions ran the game. Shrewsbury didn't look the same side in the second half. I thought that we could have actually pinched it. We had the better chances in the second half, and although 3 points eluded us, we have to settle for our 8th draw in the league today.
What do you think of Danny Allen sending off?
I think he was right. I think Danny was badly positioned at the start. He got in the wrong position. The forward outpaced him, and Danny had the choice to let him go on and probably score or bring him down. He took the latter choice and got the red card.
Sacrificed himself, yeah?
I think so, yeah. Fortunately, their lad who scored the goal, Labardi, got a red card shortly after, so it evened it up, and I think there was an inevitability about it. It was going to end up with a draw. Two good sides, I think, in fairness, and 1-1 the final score.
Thanks, Steve. Well, that's it for this time. Next 2 Saturdays see the Shrimps on travels. Saturday the 10th, we're at Aldershot Town, followed by Saturday the 17th for the much-awaited Torquay Weekender. Next match at Christie Park for League 2 action is Saturday the 24th of October, where Morecambe take on Northampton Town. We'll see you there.